Hey guys, welcome back to Nerdy Pastime. Today we're going to check out the Mythic Legions Vargg. This is a deluxe figure, and as you can see, he's got some amazing wings. And I'll be straight up with you. This figure I was always on the fence about getting, and then I started picking up all the vampires, and I decided, okay, let's grab this guy. And I will be honest with you, this guy has turned into one, if not one of the top figures in my collection right now. I don't know what it is. The sculpting of the face is just awesome, and we'll get in more into that here in just a minute. Let's get him off this stand and get a little closer look at him. So here's Vargg off the stand. He is just very well sculpted. I absolutely love his head. But if you look, you can see like they did such a great job of applying like a wet paint over his mouth and his nose, and it just really brings him to life. I really do like this figure a lot. I didn't expect that. I really did not expect that. So let's take a little more detailed look at articulation and see what this guy's got going for him here. All right, so Vargg's your normal, pretty normal figure in Legions. He's got some good, pretty good arm move range in the shoulders. He's got a pretty decent elbow bend. I mean, you're getting pretty close to 90. The muscular structure here kind of prevents it going too much further. But, I mean, you get a good range for these figures, even with the limited articulation that they do have. Then you get elbow swivel, and you can even get a little in the wrist, and then also the arm and the hand. And this has a hinge. And then it also hinges back and forth this way in the hand. Head, pretty good rotation, up and down. It's not bad at all. Even this collar piece, as you can tell, doesn't really block his head from moving back too far. And he can move down decent. I mean, you're not going to get much because of the sculpt, but he does raise his head up really well. And then, twist. In the bottom, in his waist, you're getting some pretty good range. You can get a good crunch for the most part. Rotation. The legs, they come out to about like that, which is not bad. And knee bend, it's pretty good. It's about 90 almost. So that's good. And then you got your usual rocker ankles with a hinge at the bottom. These wings have articulation. They can come up this way. They can rotate back when you plug them into the back of the wing in the back. And you can also, so here, one of my gripes, let me go ahead and take the wings off here for a second. One of my gripes with this figure is that this pivot joint right here, now this may just be on mine, or it could be on any, I've been reading some people had some paint issues, and like too much paint gets up in this joint and it's really hard to move. But this joint does move. And when you plug these into the back, I don't know if it's the back ports aren't deep enough, but they don't want to stay in there super well for moving. So if you want to move these wings, probably best to take them off and try to plug them back in and move them. You do have good range of motion here up in this part, so you can fan the wings out pretty good. But this piece here I had a hard time with. I had a very hard time. I had to heat it up with my hair dryer, and then I even had to go in there and break up some of that paint, and it's still kind of clogged up in there. It's still not moving great. And also, just another heads up, I just did it. These little boogers right here are sharp. So be careful I've learned this with Mythic Legions as I've gotten more into them. There are some sharp points on them, which is nice because it's really nice detail, but they'll bite you a little bit here and there. So let's look at his accessories, and then I'll give you some final thoughts on this figure. So accessories, of course, technically the wings are accessories. You get these 2 wings. This collar piece comes is by itself, so you can take that off, and that's what he looks like without the collar on. So you get this collar piece, which is nice. It's got a nice detailed paint, a little dry brushing with some silver. I'll try to get it up here where the camera will focus, but it's a nice piece, and I like that it doesn't hurt the head articulation. That to me is a great thing. You also have this chain, which is a metal chain, and it comes with this collar piece that you can put around his neck, and then you can have somebody like hold him like he's a pet, which I like. Then he also comes with another chain which you can put around his arms, and the best way to do that is to take his arm. Let's see if I can do it real quick here. Pop it off, put the chain on like so, and then pop his hand back on like that, and then you can do the other one that way, and it looks like he's, you know, imprisoned as a pet, which is really cool. And that I'll touch on that in just a few minutes, because I've got some thoughts about this character which I kind of like. It comes with this really cool sword, which is nicely painted. It's got a little purple dot right here for the vampires. And I really love this mace. It's so well painted, and then it's got a little, looks like a black wash on it. And it's a very silvery piece. I really dig it. I really dig this one. And then he also comes with this long axe. I've seen this in a lot of the elves that I've bought, but this is a pretty cool piece. I had him holding this earlier, and it looked really good with him. His weapons look fantastic. I'm very happy with those. And then he also comes with 2 extra hands, which are weapon holding hands. You can actually, you know, you can put, like if you wanted to put this in here, these are more of the open grip hands, but they still work. They hold the weapons fairly well, especially if you want him to hold this, and then maybe, let's see if I can get him over here. Kind of hold this like that. Well, if I can get him up there. There you go. So, I mean, very cool accessories. I'm very pleased with this figure, like I said. If you read his bio, Vargg is actually not his, it's kind of his, from what I gather, and now correct me if I'm wrong on this, because I'm still very new to Legions. I'm still learning a lot of the mythos and a lot of the lore around each character and stuff. But I feel like the Vargg are kind of like the vampire pets. They're kind of their, excuse me. I feel like the Vargg are their pets of the vampires. So you could have, you know, 1 or 2 extra. You could have 1, or you could have 2 or 3, and each, you know, vampire could be holding them on a leash. They're kind of like vampire dogs, if that makes any sense. I really wish that he had come with a second head. That he had a mouth open where it looked like he was about to attack, or like he was barking or yelling. So you could see those fangs, and that, you know, you could really see him in an action pose with his mouth open like he's ready to go and ready to attack. So here he is, here's Vargg standing next to one of the elf guards. And And you can see the size difference. Now I do have him kind of crouched a little. So let me fix his legs here just a little bit so he's standing up straight so we can get a true size comparison. I like him in the crouch position. I think that looks really good for this figure. So there he is. That's the good size comparison. He, like I said, he's more along in the dwarf category, and on the size wise. And I think this figure here is a great pickup if you have a lot of the vampires and you've been holding out on him. This guy really will fill out the ranks, and I really feel that this figure here is a good army builder. I think for vampires, this having at least 2 of these guys as kind of the watchdogs would really help any vampire scene that you have set up in your cabinet. Like I said, the biggest thing that I feel like this guy here could use is a secondary head, and I hope that maybe we can see that maybe down the line in another heads pack. I would buy it in a heartbeat. An open mouth, a little more anger, like he's growling at somebody, would be so cool. So I think that's going to wrap it up for the day. Subscribe. If you have any comments about the Vargg, if you like, do you like the Vargg? Why do you not like the Vargg? I would love to hear any comments that you have. Thanks again. Keep watching, and I appreciate everything y'all are doing. And don't forget, enjoy your pastimes. Talk to you soon.